Have you ever wondered if our societal structure is the best one possible? This question is not new. In fact, it was tackled head-on by the ancient philosopher Plato in his seminal work, The Republic. This philosophical treatise, written around 380 BC, is a thought-provoking exploration of justice, order, and the ideal state. It is an insight into Plato's vision of a perfect society, one that is harmonious, just, and enlightened. Plato didn't just ask what makes a society good. He went a step further, questioning the very nature of reality and perception. His views, as we will see, are still deeply relevant, challenging us to examine our own beliefs and systems. Perhaps one of the most striking elements of the Republic is the allegory of the cave. This profound metaphor presents us with prisoners chained in a cave since birth, who take the shadows on the wall for reality. When one of them escapes and sees the outside world, he realizes that what he thought was real was merely illusion. This allegory is a powerful symbol of enlightenment and the pursuit of knowledge. It forces us to question whether what we perceive as reality is truly what it seems, or if it's merely a construction of our minds. But the Republic goes beyond metaphysical questions. Also a blueprint for a society ruled by philosopher kings, individuals who, through wisdom and virtue, are the most suited to govern. In the upcoming segments, we will delve deeper into these fascinating concepts, exploring how they apply to our modern world and what they can teach us about justice, leadership, and the nature of reality itself. As we delve deeper into this masterpiece, prepare to question your perceptions of reality and justice. Get ready to challenge your assumptions and open your mind to a different way of thinking. After all, in the words of Plato himself, the measure of a man is what he does with power. So let's start this journey of discovery together, shall we? While Plato's ideas about government are intriguing, they may not resonate with everyone. Imagine a city, meticulously structured, where every citizen has a unique role. This is the vision of the ideal state according to Plato in his work, The Republic. In this city-state, there are three distinct classes of citizens. First, we have the rulers, also known as the guardians. They are the wisest and most knowledgeable. Their role is to govern, to make decisions that benefit the whole city. They are not rulers for their own benefit, but for the good of the state. The second class is the warriors, or the auxiliaries. They are courageous and strong, their main duty being to protect the city from external threats and maintain internal order. They enforce the decisions of the guardians and ensure the safety of the citizenry. The third and largest class consists of the producers. This class includes everyone from farmers to artisans, merchants to craftsmen. They provide the material needs of the city, ensuring that everyone has enough food, clothing, and shelter. The principle of specialization is key in this ideal state. Each citizen has a specific role based on their natural abilities and interests. They do what they are best at and what they love doing. This ensures not only the efficiency of the state but also the satisfaction of its citizens. But why such rigid class distinctions? Plato believes that this structure leads to a harmonious society. When everyone knows their role and performs it well, there is no conflict or competition for resources or power. Instead, there is cooperation and mutual respect. Now it might seem that this division of labor is simplistic or even oppressive. But remember, in Plato's vision, these roles are not enforced but rather chosen based on natural aptitude and interest. In Plato's ideal state, everyone has a place and harmony prevails. Each citizen contributes to the whole, and in return, the state provides for their needs. It's a vision of a society where everyone works together for the common good, a vision that still intrigues us today. However, not everyone agrees with Plato's vision of an ideal state. Are we all just prisoners in a cave, mistaking shadows for reality? This question forms the crux of one of Plato's most profound philosophical ideas, the allegory of the cave. This allegory is a metaphorical depiction of how we perceive our reality, and it provokes a deeper understanding of our intellectual journey. Imagine a group of people who have been imprisoned in a cave since birth. They are chained in such a way that they can only see the wall in front of them. Behind them, a fire burns, and between the fire and the prisoners, objects are passed along. The fire casts shadows of these objects on the wall, and the prisoners, having never seen anything else, accept these shadows as their reality. But what happens when one of these prisoners is freed? Initially, the light of the fire would be blinding, and the objects creating the shadows would appear less real than the shadows themselves. But as the prisoner's eyes adjust, he would understand that these objects are the true reality, and the shadows were mere illusions. This freed prisoner represents the philosopher, the enlightened one who has seen the truth. The painful process of adjusting to the light of knowledge could be disorienting, but it's necessary. The journey of enlightenment is a difficult yet rewarding path that leads us from ignorance to knowledge, from illusion to truth. The allegory of the cave forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that our perceived reality might be an illusion. It challenges us to question our perceptions, to seek beyond the shadows, and to embrace the truth, no matter how painful or disorienting it might be. In our daily lives, we might be like the prisoners in the cave, mistaking the shadows on the wall for reality. But just like the freed prisoner, we too can break free from the chains of ignorance and seek the light of truth. The allegory of the cave challenges us to question our perceptions and seek the truth. Who should rule? According to Plato, the answer is the philosopher. A striking proposition, isn't it? But let's delve into the mind of the ancient philosopher to understand why he held such a conviction. Plato's Philosopher King is a concept that surfaces in his work, The Republic. He envisioned a society where the most knowledgeable, those who have a profound understanding of the world, its workings, and the universal truths, should be the ones to lead. These individuals, he believed, are the philosophers. What sets philosophers apart according to Plato? It's their love for philosophers are not merely individuals who engage in complex contemplations. They are the seekers of truth, the ones who are not swayed by the illusions of the material world. They are the ones who can between the shadows and the reality, just like the liberated prisoner in the allegory of the cave we discussed earlier. But that's not all. Plato believed that philosophers a unique ability to understand the forms, the abstract perfect ideals that the tangible world is but a flawed copy of. This understanding, he argued, endows them with the wisdom necessary to make just decisions that are in the best interest of the society as a whole. However, Plato was well aware of the corrupting influence of power. Thus, he emphasized that the philosopher king be a person devoid of personal ambition, whose sole desire is the welfare of the state. A ruler who is not lured by wealth, power, or personal gain, but is driven by knowledge, wisdom, and a genuine love for his people. This then is the philosopher king, an ideal ruler, a beacon of wisdom in the tumultuous sea of politics. A ruler who is not dictated by personal whims but steered philosophical understanding and insight. The philosopher king, a ruler driven by wisdom and not by personal ambition. A utopian idea perhaps, but one that still holds a certain allure, doesn't it? Yet the concept of a philosopher king is not universally accepted. How does a philosophical treatise written over 2,000 years ago apply to our world today, you might wonder? The answer is surprisingly simple. Plato's The Republic remains relevant because it invites us to ponder on the nature of justice, the role of education, and the essence of good governance. Let's take a look at our modern societal structures. We live in an era of democracy, a concept that Plato was critical of. He believed that a society should be led by the most knowledgeable, the philosopher kings, as opposed to the majority. And while we value the democratic principle of one person, one vote, we also see the wisdom in Plato's argument. We elect leaders with the expectation that their knowledge and expertise will guide our society towards prosperity. But the relevance of the Republic doesn't stop at politics. It extends to our education system too. Plato's allegory of the cave reminds us of the importance of education in liberating minds from ignorance, an idea that resonates strongly today. We view education as a tool for enlightenment, a means to equip individuals with the knowledge and skills necessary to discern truth from falsehood. Furthermore, Plato's exploration of justice, as a harmonious relationship between the individual and society, continues to provoke thought. In our pursuit of justice, we grapple with questions about the rights and duties of the individual, the distribution of resources, and the balance between freedom and equality. These are questions that Plato wrestled with in The Republic, and we continue to wrestle with them today. So, while the world has changed dramatically since the time of Plato, the themes he explored in the Republic remain strikingly relevant. We may not agree with all his ideas, but they continue to spark debate, reflection, and critical thinking. Plato's The Republic continues to challenge us to question, to seek truth, and to strive for a just society. As we navigate the complexities of our modern world, it's worth remembering that sometimes the wisdom of the past can illuminate the path to the future. Plato's The Republic, an ancient text still sparking modern debates. We've journeyed together through its key concepts, from the ideal state to the Philosopher King, and even ventured into the depths of the allegory of the cave. Each of these concepts, though conceived over 2,000 years ago, still holds relevance in our lives today. The ideal state, as envisioned by Plato, is a society structured on the principles of justice and balance. It is a society where each individual plays their part, contributing to the greater good. It poses a question to us: how can we strive towards creating a more balanced society in our own lives? Then we delved into the allegory of the cave, a profound illustration of how our perception shapes our reality. It challenges us to break free from the chains of ignorance and seek the light of knowledge, even if it might initially blind us. It reminds us that what we perceive as reality might only be shadows on a cave wall, a construct of our minds. How can we apply this allegory to our own lives? How can we step out of our caves and into the sunlight? We also explored the concept of the Philosopher King, the wise and just ruler. This concept prompts us to consider the role of wisdom and morality in leadership. It encourages us to reflect on our own roles, whether we are leaders or followers, and how we can embody these virtues in our everyday lives. Plato's The Republic is not merely an antiquated text, but a timeless guide, inviting us to question, to seek truth, and to strive for a just and balanced society. It challenges us to confront our realities and to continuously seek enlightenment. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, the pursuit of knowledge is an exciting journey. Don't forget to subscribe and like our channel to continue this journey with us. While Plato's The Republic offers a unique perspective, it's important to remember that it's just one of many viewpoints on society and governance.